Welcome back to A Minute with Chelsea. It is December 3rd, so we're opening Advent Calendar Day 3 before I head out and go on a hike. I jumped in Shelby's car because she came to pick me up, and then we drove to 7 Brew. I had to get out of the car to get something out of my backpack. Then on the way there, we stopped where we always stop, at the Dollar General, so I could poop, because it happens every single time. I always have to stop. Shout out to the Dollar General for always being there for me. Today we are hiking King's Bluff. The last time we were here, we actually hiked Pedestal Rocks, but one is to the left and one is to the right, so this time we went to the right. Look at these mushrooms, I love them. It had rained a lot this week, so the trail was really slippery and muddy and had leaves on top of all of it, so it's kind of like walking on ice. I don't know how to explain it. It's just very, very slippery and gross. Also, it's like a weird temperature. It's cold if you're not in the sun, and then it's hot if you're in the sun, but the wind is blowing and it's very chilly. We went this way this time because we wanted to see this waterfall, and then we saw it. We were like, that is not a waterfall. That is a water stumble. That is a water trip. And then, of course, we had to do some climbing and some exploring, so Shelby got up on this log so that we could take a picture and film a video, and also just because it looked fun. And because we like the water. I wanted to get in the water, but I was like, I will be miserable if I do that because I'll be too cold. And because Shelby did it, I also have to do it, duh. So I was like, take my picture. Look at this wiener I got. Look at this tree wiener. And then I was like, I'm gonna lay down. And that was a stupid idea. Now I have bruises on both of my inner thighs. Very picturesque, very aesthetic. Good job, Chelsea. I dismounted the tree. And we kept hiking, and we went over here to see this other little waterfall, and it was just a trickle, and I was like, what was all that rain for? Nothing. I found a tiny mushroom, but I only found 3 the whole time we were out there. We filmed a lot of stupid TikToks, so that means we laughed a lot, which is my favorite thing. And to everyone telling me that that's not moss, it's lichen. I'm sorry, okay? It's lichen. My bad. We hugged some trees, and then I crawled around. I had some ground time, some outside floor time. I'm actually climbing over a giant crack, but luckily my legs and butt are way too big for me to fall into that crack. And then I started stimming and didn't realize it, and I was like, I bet this looks really cute. I don't care, I'm gonna keep doing it. Stimming feels delicious. It feels so good. I love to do it. It feels great. And then every hike, I think my autism peaks. It's like, oh, here I am. Let me slap that moss. Let me pet it. Let me finger the earth like Ariana Grande. Look at this little fairy pond we found. It's just a puddle on top of a cliff, but it looked magical and I loved it. In fact, I loved it so much, Shelby was like, do you want to keep going? And I was like, no, I want to put my hammock up here because I want to be next to this little fairy pond. I really like whenever I get caught stemming on camera because sometimes I think I don't ever do that. I'm not someone who stems. Yes, I am. I'm someone who likes to move my body around repetitively and also do weird stretches because it feels good. So we set up our hammocks. I actually put my camera on a tripod in a tree to get this time lapse of us putting up our hammocks, but it was so windy that it blew my camera over. So at least it filmed this part, but then after that, it's just a bunch of footage of the ground. I put my coat on and I put my blanket on and I got in my hammock to eat some snacks because I was so cold all of a sudden. It's just really cold on top of that mountain. I don't know if it's a mountain, it's a bluff, who knows. I ate my sandwich, I put Doritos on it so it would be like a pool sandwich. Shelby brought Jimmy John's because she didn't have time to make her own sandwich. I ate one of these granola bars that Sarah gave me. It's cookie butter flavored, but I think it tastes more like oatmeal. Here's my friend, the Granddaddy Longlegs, who was just hanging out under my hammock until I touched his leg, and then he was mad and he left. Oh look, more stimming. Stim, stim, stim. It's apparently my favorite thing to do in the forest. I'll never forget the first time Shelby and I went to a public pool together, and we stood in the deep end, and we were just hopping up and down for about 30 minutes, and Shelby said, what are we doing? Why do we do this? I said, Shelby, we are stimming, and she was like, oh my God, we are. And I was like, that's why we like it. It feels good. We're neurodivergent. And this is me forgetting step B because I already had my hands out of my shirt sleeves, and Shelby was like, teach me the dance, and I did it, and she was like, put your arms back in your shirt. Anyway, this is us having the brilliant idea to do the Is It Over Now Taylor Swift dance without any arms in our sleeves, and I don't know why. It just sounded really fun, okay? And it was really fun, and we laughed so hard that we could not breathe, which is usually what happens on a hike anyway. And then I filmed Shelby's eye because I was like, look at that. Your eyes look teal out in the sun. It's crazy. This is some of our behind-the-scenes footage of us filming our TikToks because Shelby usually sets up her camera to catch the stupidity that goes on behind the scenes. And honestly, I like watching the behind the scenes more than I like watching the videos we make because we're so stupid and we just laugh the whole time. So this is me putting bananas with mud on my eyeballs, and it was disgusting. I had banana all in my eyelashes and all stuck to my face. And then Shelby and I traded spots so I could pretend to wax her eyebrows with banana peels. I'm really glad nobody walked up on us when this was happening. We did see a couple of people on the trail that day. I got a banana sticker stuck to my tits. And of course, I have to film Shelby every time she pees. It's a thing we do. There was a tiny little violet on the top of this bluff, and then this is me doing my tarot card reading on the top, and then I got nervous because I was too close to the edge and I had to run back. I was so focused on getting the shot that I literally didn't realize how close I was to the edge. Then the sun started to set and I was like, we have to hike back another mile, we gotta go. But we stopped to film this, but I would like to say I kept thinking something was behind me. Watch my face, it's like, oh my god, oh I'm not comfortable. Let me move my hand. I thought there was a snake. Turns out the whole time it was my own backpack touching a leaf behind me. I just want to say Shelby's great at fake falling. I almost fell into the porta potty because someone didn't put the lid down and I screamed bloody murder because it scared me and I was like, I am not falling into that giant poop hole, okay? We made it back to the car right before the sun went down and once again we drove home chasing the sunset and it was so pretty. And the whole way home I'm thinking of what we're gonna eat for dinner. I'm like, I'm so hungry, what do you want to eat? Shelby picked up David at her house and then she took me back to my house. We went inside and we opened our cookie advent calendar. Today is coffee caramel or caramel coffee. Shelby and David tried the cookie and then we went to eat at Texas Roadhouse. I wanted Olive Garden, but Amber doesn't like pasta because something's wrong with her. But everybody likes Texas Roadhouse, so we went there instead. She brought us double rolls and I was already like, yes, best server ever. We had an awesome blossom and some side salads. They really didn't cut up our onion very well because this was like a whole onion and Shelby was like, film me and don't tell David. And then we filmed this to see what his reaction would be. And this is who David is as a human being. Amber got ribs with french fries and they were delicious. Shelby got portobello mushroom chicken. David got a steak. I got steak medallions with portobello mushroom gravy. And when I got home, the house had been decorated for Christmas and Amber was like, surprise! Then I had to pee, so Charlotte came with me and so did Amber because that's what we do now apparently. I took a shower and then I came out and Amber was watching Taylor Swift's Boyfriend on TV. So I sat down so she could brush my hair. I also wanted to watch Taylor Swift's Boyfriend because I was waiting for Taylor and I missed it and I was so sad. And here is Charlotte trying out for the Olympics. She's so good at it. And then I touched her toe and she didn't like it. Then Amber was like, will you bring the laundry in here? But there wasn't a basket, so I did my best, which was not very good. Then I had to go back and pick it all up because it all fell out of my arms.